So you guys, here we are. Excuse me, my allergies have taken over on me today. But here we are on part 7 of the Flavious Josephus Revelation similarities. This one is going to be about the woes that were given in Revelation and also in Josephus. So if you haven't watched part 1 through 6, go back and watch it on my page. As I said, excuse my voice. It's crackly today because of my allergies and my eyes. I'm having to blink a lot because they're burning. So in Revelation 11, after I got done reading verses 7 through 13 on my last video, this one is verse 14 where it says, "The second woe has passed. Behold, the third woe is coming shortly." So it's talking about woes. Now, in Flavius Josephus' War of the Jews book 6, this is going to be in sections 3, which I believe would be paragraph 3. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's pretty long, but it talks about a man named Jesus that would go up and down the streets of Jerusalem for 7 years and 5 months, saying, "Woe to the city, woe to Jerusalem." And it says they even beat him so hard that his bones laid bare. He was brought before the Roman procurator, and he didn't say a word, didn't moan, cry, nothing. The only thing that he said out of his mouth, he didn't even say thank you to the people that were feeding him, but the only thing he said out of his mouth was, "Woe to Jerusalem," for 7 years and 5 months. Then at the end he said, "Woe to myself also." And just as he said that, a big stone out of one of the engines smote him and unalived him. And as he was uttering the very same presages, he gave up the ghost. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is Revelation 16 verses 3 through 6. So this is what Revelation 16, 3 through 6 says. "Then the second angel poured out his bowl on the sea, and it became blood as of a unalived man, and every living creature in the sea unalived. Then the third angel poured out his bowl on the rivers and springs of water, and they became blood. And I heard the angel of the waters saying, You are righteous, O Lord, the one who is, and the one who was, and who is to be, because you have judged these things. For they have shed the blood of saints and prophets, and you have given them blood to drink, for it is their just due." So I want you to pay attention in that verse that it says, "The sea, and it became blood as of an unalived man, and every living creature in the sea unalived. And then as the bowl was poured out on the rivers and the springs of water, and they became blood." So in Flavius Josephus' book 4, chapter 7, paragraphs 5 and 6, this is what it says. "They then extended themselves a very great way along the banks of the river, and sustained the darts that were thrown at them, as well as the attacks of the horsemen, who beat many of them, and pushed them into the current, at which fight, hand to hand, 15,000 were slain, while the number of those that were unwillingly forced to leap into Jordan was prodigious, and Jordan could not be passed over." It's talking about the Jordan River, "by reason of the unalived bodies that were in it. But because the lake Asphaltus was also full of unalived bodies, they were carried down into it by the river. And now Placidus put his soldiers on board the ships, and slew such as had fled to the lake." So Josephus is talking about there's so many unalived bodies that they couldn't even pass over the river. So I guess Lake Asphaltus was a Greek name for the Dead Sea. So John saw in his vision that the sea became blood. If there's so many unalived bodies in the sea, wouldn't it become blood? And if there were any bodies in this river that became blood, as they were unaliving in it, would they not drink the blood of it? So a lot of Christians today, when they read these scriptures that says the sea turned to blood, they're looking for it to just become red, the color red, the waters. But this is actually what it's talking about. That in this war, I think it was 1.1 million Jews were unalived. And you've got to think about the population that we had back at this time to start with. So that would have been a lot of bodies, a lot of bloodshed. I think even in Josephus' War of the Jews, he talks about the blood being so high that it quenches the fire in the city. And in Revelation, it says something about the blood would be as high as a horse's bridle. So, yeah, those two kind of coincide together as well.